Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Another personal question today that I was asked recently, which I just thought I'd do a very quick answer of in this video. It's a little bit about my origin story, if you will, about fountain pens. And the question was, what was my first fountain pen? And this is a two-part answer. So I had a pen before I was really into pens, but it sort of got that spark going for me. And then I think I started like most people do after that. So when I was in my teens, I've covered some of this before, but I thought I'd just do a very quick condensed version of it here. When I was in my teens, I wrote a letter into a magazine, sort of talking about classical music, and I got Letter of the Week from the editor of the magazine, and part of that prize was to win a Parker Sonnet fountain pen, which I knew nothing about. And it's only in recent years that I have really gone, oh, what a great, prize that was. Parker Sonnet fountain pen, and I got it, and I put the cartridge in, and I used it, and I loved it for about 2 weeks, and then it was gone. And I never got around to getting new cartridges. I thought it was all just a bit too tricky. I never understood the converter thing. I was in my teens. I was probably 14 or 15 years old. So hardly in the same mindset as I am now about researching things. And also, things weren't as easy to research then. The internet was not what it is now. And so I put that aside. I put it in a box which went under the stairs at my parents' house, and I kind of moved on with my life. I moved out of home, and I, moved interstate and all these sorts of things, and then a few years later, I was in China. Oh, this is now back in 2014. I was in China and went to a supermarket just to buy a pen because the pen that I'd taken with me had stopped working. And I bought a pen off the rack, and next to it was a fountain pen. And what I know now, it was a Hero fountain pen. And I thought, oh, that's cool. I bought that. It was really super cheap, like a couple of dollars. Came with a little bottle of ink and a cartridge. And I put the cartridge in, and I wrote with it, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then the cartridge ran out, and so I looked up what to do with the converter, and I found out what to do, and I filled it up with this little bottle of ink, and I was hooked. In that moment, I was hooked. But it took me a little while longer to really get into it. And so it took me a couple, maybe a few months to then sort of get my next pen. And, there was a Lamy and a TWSBI and a Pilot and a few Jinhaos and things like that. And then within a year, I had close to 200 pens in my collection. So it went from nothing to, within maybe 14 months, I went from buying that little pen off the shelf in China and to having like what would be considered a pretty decent fountain pen collection. Nothing terribly expensive, into the maybe 120, 130 Australian dollar range at that point. And that was my sort of story into it. And then it sort of gradually has snowballed from there. And as I gained knowledge on all these things, I looked into it more, and I started doing more and getting involved more. And now I've been doing these videos for 4 years. So yeah, that was my sort of origin. My first pen, a Parker Sonnet. I knew nothing about it. Only recently got it back when my parents moved house. As that was sort of starting to happen, I was there and I collected it. So yeah, like an interesting origin story. I had a pen that was way beyond what I needed at the time, anything I had any understanding of, and then sort of went back to the beginning, same as sort of a lot of people do, and gradually came back into the hobby. So that was my sort of origin story. I hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, let me know. If you'd like to support the channel and get in touch, you can do that using any of the platforms listed below: email, Instagram, Twitter, all those sorts of things. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.